Good morning.
Good morning, and Happy New Year to you. I know you and I have spoken since the new year, but we haven't spoken to other people that might be listening.
And we
So
haven't
happy
really seen each other.
2024. Yes, we
Yeah.
haven't seen each other. So happy 2024 to anybody listening. We hope it's a fantastic year for you.
Yes. Yeah, we are very excited about the year to see what's happening. So let's hope
Yes,
that will
and
continue.
we've launched something new on our LinkedIn site and on Facebook and Instagram, and that is Lucentlands photograph selection of the day. We had a look at all the incredible photographs we've got sitting in the dark on our hard drives, and decided, well, we should give them each give all the beautiful photographs an opportunity to shine. And so we are putting up photographs taken during our trips and during assignments and all around the country, and some of them internationally. We're putting them up for people to see because
Yeah, and it's just
they say
just sharing it. That's basically what
just
it is.
sharing it, and a photo tells 1,000 words. So just to show you, we don't just sit around in the office and talk online. We actually get out there and do photos and videos out in the agricultural sector. So we
Yeah, well,
hope you enjoy those.
this is the first live stream for this year, and we, by hook or by crook, we're going to try and do this every day. But if we don't, then we're probably busy out somewhere. But the idea is to do this as often as possible.
Yes, and then we were looking at something something that's in the news.
Which one is that? Do you want
You're
to talk
talking
about?
specifically about the exotic fruit fly emerging fund awarded more than $100 million. This is in California. USDA, and yes, did you want to say something?
Yeah, let me just put it up here. I've actually stumbled across, this is on the Western Growers. They are, looks like a corporatie, a bunch of growers that supply to the same thing. They've put it out, and I've seen something on LinkedIn. This was the actual article that I saw. It's a FAQ available to growers, but also subsequent to that, at the bottom it's linked. This one, which is published on the 18th of December, where the US government has given more than $100 million to fight fruit fly in California, which is, if you look at, we've been fighting these bloody things for however long.
Yeah.
Has our government given us
Yes, our government does provide some
2 billion
funding.
rand for doing this?
No, not 2 billion. But what one can take from this is that fruit fly are a problem all over the world in fruit production regions. And our government and our industry does an amazing job with the Fruit Fly Africa program. I live in a fruit production region, and the aeroplanes and helicopters are flying overhead doing the mitigating, the fruit fly infestations, and they have actually managed to get them down to very negligible amounts. So, the fact that the Californian, that the government has seen the need to do this and is putting this kind of money available for this, it's a very good thing. And I mean, the way it's being fought in South Africa is a very interesting way of doing it, and that is they don't poison the fruit fly. They actually disrupt their breeding cycle by breeding thousands or hundreds of thousands of fruit fly, and then sterilizing the male fruit fly and releasing those into the wild. And the sterilization process is done by exposing them, by radiating the male fruit fly. So the sterilized males mate with fertile females in the field, and then the egg there is no progeny. So it's not using poison. And this is actually a very clever way of doing it. And the South African government has been providing funding towards the South African fruit industry, which also provides quite a big chunk of the funding to operate the system in South Africa. So yeah, we are there, we are doing it. So interesting to see that this is a problem elsewhere in the world, and they're also tackling it.
Yeah, well, it is an issue, and obviously with trade happening globally now, these kind of things will spread. It's it's unfortunate, but it has to be. It will happen, and this probably happened.
Yes.
It's like a small sample of this slipped through the gap somewhere like 50 years ago, and then that population has just slowly been growing up to a point where it's not like there was 10 billion of these things brought in a container and then released them. This is something that's coming a long time, and that's probably why. That is also why there's huge phytosanitary implications to exporting fruit all over the world, is to stop these kind of things.
Yes, and I see paragraph 3 of that article, and they're referring, the first paragraph, it talks about exotic fruit flies, and then further down it talks about the Mediterranean fruit flies. So that's
Yes.
exactly the same insect that we are combating here. And Mediterranean tells you where it comes from. So it's exotic both to us and to the USA and everywhere else that's having a problem with it.
And the one that's pictured is the Bactroceras dorsalis one, or BD as most people know it here, which is, I think they call it in South Africa, oriental fruit fly, if I'm correct. Which they are not a huge threat at the moment in South Africa yet, but they are monitoring for it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I've seen them in the veld, in orchards where we were filming. We just happened to see them.
okay. Which part of our country were you in at that point?
That was up north.
Okay. Well, it's interesting that we, as we often say in Afrikaans, our industry is op it. They are busy doing this, and
Yeah.
to see it elsewhere in the world. So good luck to the guys that are doing it in our industry, and well done. And keep up the good work. I hope you get the support you need.
Yes. Well, it's a pest.
It is indeed. And we've had at the end of December, I think the last weekend of December, we had some serious rains in the Western Cape, particularly inland, not so much at the coast. And that has had an effect, it has had some effect on the table grapes produced in this area. Um, but it's still early in the season, so it remains to be seen
Exactly.
how badly this will affect the season going ahead.
But most other of the production regions have thus far, touch wood, gone pretty much unscathed from what we've seen and heard and spoken about to people. They've had really good packing weather to get this stuff
Yes.
out.
Yes. And yeah, also the best of luck to the guys in the table grape industry and the growers and the shippers and all the people involved in the industry. We wish you good luck, and we hope that the weather stays fair and that the crops are as undamaged and as healthy as possible.
Yes, 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 yes. And then two other news items. We've had an engagement in our team. Eben,
Yes.
our video editor.
Yes.
As he said on his Facebook post, now there's two less fish in the sea.
Yes, that's very exciting. So 2024 brings exciting things for our Lucentlands team.
I
So we're
always said
wishing.
after doing all the weddings, I said I don't even want to be invited to one. But so Eben, I'll go.
Well, yes, wishing Eben and his fiancée Rochelle all the best, and
Yeah.
congratulations. Yes.
Um,
So is there anything else, Dewald?
there was actually something else I wanted to say. Oh yes, and we just put out the new podcast this morning, our first one for 2024. It is with a very kind gentleman by the name of Leon Lowe, and he's got a very interesting organization called Why Africa. And they travel
That
through
was
Africa.
interesting.
They look at investment opportunities and growth things in Africa, and it is very, very interesting.
Yes, by all means, please have a listen. Leon Lowe is very interesting and very inspiring. So often one tends to get bad news out of Africa, but boy, oh boy, there are things happening, and have a listen to what Leon has to say.
Yeah, and follow his pages. It's he is sharing some really interesting articles that they produce along the way on their travels and things. It's a worthwhile one.
Okay, well, I think that's a wrap. Our first one after the December break, and wishing you all the best for 2024. And
Yeah.
thanks for listening, and keep it up.
Okay.
Have a good one. Bye.
Cheerio.